Dear white neurodivergents, being uncomfortable isn't the same thing as facing discrimination. Let me say that again. Being uncomfortable isn't the same thing as facing discrimination. Because tell me why nearly every time I point out to a white neurodivergent person that their behavior is problematic, racist, etc., they're so quick to say, that's ableist. That's just my neurodivergent so and so trait. I'm honest, I'm blunt, whatever. Like, I'm autistic and Asian, and racism has never been a side effect of my disability, because it isn't one. And even if a disabled trait did seemingly amplify a bad behavior, it doesn't suddenly absolve you of all accountability. Being neurodivergent or disabled isn't an excuse for spewing bigotry. And it's such a weird juxtaposition because you have these same people telling you they have a strong sense of justice or some moral superiority in one breath, and telling you that they don't have capacity for non-white and other marginalized people in another breath because the news is so sad they already have enough going on and they don't feel like they should talk about issues that don't personally affect them. Yeah, we don't want to have to talk about these issues either, but we don't have the option to opt out. That's privilege. So let me remind you that being marginalized in one way doesn't mean you aren't privileged in others. It also doesn't mean you experience or even understand the other experiences of marginalized people, especially when racism affects every other system of oppression. Your experiences with ableism are not the same when you only experience ableism, and that isn't to invalidate your struggles, but to contextualize them. And that should make you uncomfortable because inequality is uncomfortable. And avoiding every conversation that makes you uncomfortable isn't self-care, setting a boundary, or making an accommodation. It's just showing your privilege in that space. So please have these hard conversations and get uncomfortable, because that is quite literally the only way we learn, grow, and actually remove these systems of oppression. Bye, friends.